All right, folks, it's a brand new year, 2023, and that means one thing: most wanted driver testing at mygolfspy. We're out here at Independence Golf Club in Richmond, Virginia, and we're gonna give you the down low on all the best drivers of the year. Super exciting time of year for every golfer. You know, there's new drivers from TaylorMade, Callaway, Cobra, Ping, and they're all promising more yards, more accuracy, and lower scores. And we're gonna tell you today which ones are best for your game and which ones are not. All right, we've got a ton of stuff inside our facility, from players' distance irons, blade putters, mallet putters, and more. But we're gonna kick it off with the Mac Daddy of them all, the big dog, the driver. In the best driver of 2023 video today, we are going to tell you the definitive top 5 performers of the year. For those of you that only care about distance or accuracy or forgiveness, we're gonna tell you the best drivers for those as well. And if you're looking for the best value or something to fix that gnarly slice, the one that's always in the woods, we found a driver that will definitively help you with that as well. So stick around as we dive into the most in-depth driver test in the business. All right, for testing, we had 35 testers. They hit 14,700 shots, which accounted for 315 hours, and we hit 30 of the newest drivers for 2023. To make sure we covered swing speeds just like yours, we had a wide range. We covered everything from 80 to 120 miles an hour plus, and we covered handicap ranges from scratch golfers all the way to 15. All right, one unique thing about this year's test, it's actually the first test that we've ever done where every manufacturer had an adjustable driver. Why is that great? Because that adjustability is built for you, the golfer, to find the best driver in the fastest way possible. You can adjust for loft, you can adjust for lie in some of these drivers. It's a great way to find the best driver for you, especially when you're shelling out 600 bucks. Now let's get to scoring. When we score an overall best driver of 2023, it's not just about distance or accuracy or forgiveness, it's the combination of all three. So we want to make sure when we test and give you the results, you know that that driver has the combination of all three put into one to make sure it is the #1 driver for 2023. But if you're looking to find out how we actually do our testing and find out how we rank distance or accuracy or forgiveness, go check out the link below in the description of the video for our proprietary methodologies within the article. All right, let's start with distance, which is what most golfers tell us they care the most about. Here are the top 5 drivers for distance in 2023. Rolling into the top 5 for distance, let's start out with number 5. One of the most talked about drivers of the year so far is the Callaway Paradigm Triple Diamond. And it's coming in at 248.2 yards total for all swing speeds. All right, number 4, the one with the red face, the TaylorMade Stealth 2, coming in at 248.25 yards, and also had some of the highest ball speeds we saw in the test all year long. Let's get to the top 3. And that number 3rd spot, a shocker this year. Srixon is back in the top 5 with the Srixon ZX5 LS MK2. It rolls off the tongue really easily, right? Also, one of the lowest spinning drivers in this year's test with a total distance of 248.3. All right, coming in at number 2 for the best driver in distance for 2023 is the Stealth 2 Plus. You might remember last year that the Stealth Plus won longest driver in the 2022 test as well. This year, they're coming in at 248.93 yards total. Now let's get to the longest driver of the year. The best driver for distance in 2023 gave us some jaw-dropping numbers for our testers inside our facility this year, and that's the Cobra Aerojet LS. Great job this year, Cobra, breaking into the #1 spot for the best driver for distance in 2023 with a total distance of 250.7. His driver was smoking them on the foresight in our testing this year, with some of our testers hitting this 10 and 20 yards longer than the other drivers in the test. So there you have it, everybody. That is the top 5 drivers for distance in 2023. So what might not sound like a lot of difference in distance from 1st to 5th place is a big difference from 1st to worst. Oh, Are you playing the shortest driver in our test? You're back there. All right, but let's be fair to the Ping G430 SFT. That club is built for a specific golfer that has a specific problem on the golf course. More on that later. All right, everybody, that's it for the distance category. But before we go, we're gonna show you from first to worst. First to 30th place, so you can see exactly where the driver you're looking for this year finished in our overall rankings. All right, we've talked enough about distance. Now on to the people that need to find the fairway the most. Now we're gonna get on to the top 5 drivers for accuracy. And starting at number 5, not any shock to mygolfspy. Almost every year, one of their Tour Edge Exotics drivers finishes in the top 5 somewhere, and this year they've done it again with the Tour Edge Exotics E723 with an overall accuracy score of 91.7. And as you'll see later, you might want to pay attention because if you're looking for a fairway finder, this might be the one for you. All right, number 4, the Callaway Paradigm X, coming in at 92.9. It's a hell of a great accuracy score. Sliding in at number 3 spot for the most accurate driver of 2023 is the Ping G430 Max. Almost every year this driver comes in and competes, and this year was no different. Ranked 3rd overall for accuracy in 2023 with a score of 93.1. Our testers mentioned how much confidence they have with this driver, and also it sounds way better than its predecessor, the 425. Coming in at number 2 for accuracy, and oh, by the way, distance as well, the TaylorMade Stealth 2 Plus, coming in with an accuracy score of 96.7, just narrowly missing that first spot. Coming in as the most accurate driver of 2023 with a score of 97.4 was the Ping G425 Max. That's correct, that is not a new driver. You always ask us to include last year's winner in this year's test to make sure and find out, is newer always better? Well, this year when it comes to accuracy, it's not. The number 1 driver is an old driver and still keeping up with the big dogs of 2023. Kudos to Ping. Interesting note in this year's test. Ping actually had the first place, most accurate driver, and the least accurate driver. Ping G425 Max, most accurate. Ping G430 SFT, least accurate. But like we told you earlier, there's a reason why, and we're gonna get to that shortly. So how much of a difference was accuracy in our test? About 25 points for first to worst. That is the difference between hitting a lot of fairways and not so many. All right, right here is what top 5 accuracy looks like in our test. Middle of the fairway. Bottom 5 in our test, 20 points worse. And oh, by the way, if you want to find out how every driver in our test performed for accuracy, no matter which it was, we're going to rank 1 through 30 right now. All right, everybody, we've covered 2 of the most important things that golfers tell us they want, distance and accuracy, right? We've told you the winners in those categories. There's a couple other metrics that we test for that we think are valuable for a lot of golfers out there, and that's forgiveness and slice reduction. So we're gonna tell you the best driver for both now. Number 1 for forgiveness, once again, was the Tour Edge Exotics E723. By far the best driver forgiveness this year, and it ranked really highly for multiple categories. So great job, Tour Edge, once again, for popping in the top 5. It's not one of the biggest names in golf, but when we test in the most comprehensive test we have, they always rank really high. And now, onto that driver we've been talking about for a while, right? The least accurate driver. But guess what? This driver was built for a specific golfer, like we said, for a very specific purpose. So, it's not here to win most wanted, but it is here to win most wanted for slice reduction, and that is the Ping G430 SFT. SFT stands for Straight Flight Technology. This thing can straighten out some of the worst slices that we've seen. So, if slice is your biggest problem, definitively demo the Ping G430 SFT this year. Looking for forgiveness? Once again, check out the Tour Edge E723 Exotics. All right, we've given you the best drivers for distance, accuracy, forgiveness, and slice reduction. But now it's time for the big reveal. the holy grail of drivers for 2023. These are your top 5 best drivers in golf for 2023. Let's get it. All right, number 5 for top overall drivers and maybe the most surprising in this year's test is the Srixon ZX5 LS MK2 with an overall score of 92.7. Once again, kudos to Srixon for cracking the top 5. All right, the number 4 overall driver of the year with a 93.9 overall score was the Callaway Paradigm X. A lot of people came in picking this as what they thought would win most wanted this year, but at the end of the day, it just didn't have the numbers for distance, accuracy, and forgiveness as much as the number 1 driver for 2023 this year, but still a top 5 finish, Callaway Paradigm X. Coming in at number 3, the Titleist TSR3 with an overall score of 95. This driver also finished in the top 10 in every category in the test, which is very impressive. All right, coming in at number 2 overall, number 1 in distance, which makes it the distance king in 2023, and also the most underrated driver company in golf, in my opinion, and that's Cobra Aerojet LS with an overall score of 95.4. And the best driver of 2023, the one we've all been waiting for, and after 14,700 shots, 35 testers, multiple swing speeds, multiple handicap ranges, it's definitive. The number 1 driver of 2023 is the TaylorMade Stealth 2 Plus. So that is the top 5 best drivers in golf for 2023. But if you want to see how every driver ranked from 1st to 30th, best to worst, we're going to show you that all right now. All right, now that we've talked about this huge database of results and all the winning drivers, what about some of the other things that you should consider, like prices of drivers and other buying considerations? If you're in the market for a brand new driver this year, you could be paying upwards of $500 or $600 for a new driver. All right, just remember here at mygolfspy, we've got a general rule of thumb when you're buying a new driver, and that's the 1-3-5 rule. From year to year, we only see about a 1-yard difference from the new drivers from the previous year's drivers, okay? So if your driver is 1 year old, there's probably not that much difference. If you were fit for a driver last year and fit for one this year, you probably don't need a new driver. If your driver's 3 years old, you're looking at maybe 3 to 5 yards, so maybe. If your driver's 5 to 10 years old, you can almost certainly gain from buying or at least demoing a new driver. If you're a value-conscious golfer, also take into account the fact that the PXG 0211, 0311, and Gen 5 drivers are all less than $300 right now. And oh, by the way, last year's winner, which also is the most accurate driver this year again, is the Ping G425 Max, which is under $400 right now, and it's expected to drop even more throughout the year. Before we wrap up, we wanted to talk about one additional thing we added to testing this year, and that's subjective feedback. Our testers gave us subjective feedback on a 1 to 10 scoring system based on you telling us you wanted to know things like sound, feel, looks, and likelihood of purchase. They will not be included in our overall score, but they will be included for you to see how our testers rated drivers for, once again, looks, sound, feel, and how likely they are to purchase that driver. Based on all that subjective feedback, I'm going to throw it to Philip to let you know who are the winners in the 2023 Tester's Choice Awards.
So for our 2023 Most Wanted Driver, our Tester's Choice Award goes to Titleist TSR3. It was a clean sweep for the TSR3. Best for sound, best for looks, best for feel, and most likely to purchase.
And that is the best drivers of 2023. So make sure in the comment section below, you tell us which driver you are looking forward to testing the most. And oh, by the way, Best Blade Putters of 2023 is coming up next. We out.